Like many of you, I have tons of gear kicking around this studio from the company Neewer. I have C-stands, I have lights. The dummy battery going into this ZV-E10 Mark II is from Neewer as well. But what really surprised me is that that company knows who I am. They actually wrote me. I know, I'm as shocked as you are. And they said, hey, we want to work with you. Really? And then they said, why don't you go through our website and tell us what you would be most excited about, and maybe we can do a collaboration on it. And look what I have right here. My goodness, I have an FX30, so when I saw these two items, I became extremely happy because it's a little tiny half cage that can also house a V-mount battery. So this, because I have the top handle on the FX30, I have an all-day rig right here, ready to go. So small and compact, and this battery, I have another one over here, is the most versatile V-mount battery I have ever used as well. First, let me show you this awesome foldable half cage / base plate from Neewer. So it has a quick release right here. Look at that, done and done. And because you can just undo that tension, I can fold it over. So this is all I have to take along with my FX30, and I am good to go with my fancy rig. So there is a plate on the bottom there. I can slide it in and out if I want, and the plate actually has a little key magnetically attached. I love that little touch, so I can fasten the plate on and off. No problem, don't have to carry an Allen key or a coin. And also the cage itself has a plate so you can attach the entire thing to a tripod. It also has some threads in there for different size screws. I love this folded mechanism too because I can have access to my FX30 screen. Want to flip it up, flip it to the side, put that back up when I am done. Put it down, nice and compact and secure. I can tighten it to keep it from moving, or I can make it loose so I can move it around. I love it. And I chose this battery to go along with the rig because I have never seen a battery do as many things as this one can do. This is the Neewer Mini V battery. It actually has a Bluetooth app. You can connect the app and check all of the status of your devices connected and the battery health itself, and also do updates to the battery. It has 7 output connections, so 5 on top, 2 USB-C, a USB-A, DC 8 volt, DC 12 volt, a D-tap, and a base plate for the V-mount, a 6-pin connector in case you want to use something like lights. There's also an OLED screen to tell you all of the information, how much battery life you have left, and how much power is being drawn from each of the different ports. You can also do fast power delivery from the battery or to the battery. So let's say you have an Apple device that can use that 100-watt PD output, then you can do that from the battery right here and fast charge your devices. It fast charges the battery itself using that high power as well, so you can go from 0 to a full charge in 2 hours, which is better than all of my other V-mount batteries. So let's fire up the app so I can plug some stuff in and you can see what happens. I have both batteries connected Bluetooth to this app. I will use this one here, Mark Neewer 2. Now you will see that the battery has 95% left, and I have all of these things. If there was an update needed, you would see a little red dot saying now is the time for update. So you see all my ports here, USB-C 1, 2, USB-A, and the 2 DC volt ports. So let's plug in the FX30 to a USB-C port on this battery right here. Yes, I know there is another battery right there, but I'm going to plug more stuff into this one for the demonstration. So what you see is it pops up now. I have 13 hours and 35 minutes. My old eyes, I need reading glasses. 13 hours and 35 minutes left to power my FX30, so that will definitely outlast me for the day. So now let's plug in my MacBook Pro, and you will see it takes up the USB-C 2 port. So now I'm charging my MacBook Pro and I am powering my FX30. And how about a bright colored Bluetooth speaker so I can blast Kendrick Lamar and bother my neighbors. Now right here you will see that pops up, the USB-A port, the 5-volt port right there. Now all of these things are working together, MacBook Pro, FX30, and the Bluetooth speaker. Now I still have the DC 8-volt and 12-volt ports, and I can add things in there too, but just make sure you don't go past 110 watts when it comes to using these 5 ports on the top. Right now I am only at 36.5 watts, so we are plenty far away. I don't think using these 5 ports I would ever go past 110 watts. But also, let's not forget we have a D-tap out and a base plate connector, so I will just put that here on my V-mount connector for my Godox light. Now I'll turn on this light and I will ruin my exposure. This is on 30%. This is a 150 watt light on 30%. Still running all of the other things right now. And I have, how much time will I have in this particular scenario? I have an hour and 30 minutes doing all of these things. Now remember, I'm going to turn this off so I can get my regular exposure back. Now remember, you can't exceed 125 watts if you're using the D-tap or the base plate connector. This light here is 150 watts, so if I ran that at 100% power, I would get a little error signal right here, an OP that would mean overpowered, too much power for the battery, so I would have to back that off to 80% or less. Now, as much as I love this battery, a couple of things I would like to see, and apparently one of them they're already working on. I'd like to see a 99 printed somewhere here on the battery, because when you're going through the airport security, instead of having to look for the watt hours in this very small print on the back, if it had a bigger 99 on there, then the agent would know, okay, that battery is safe to fly. But I was talking to Neewer, and apparently they are going to be putting those on these batteries soon. The other thing I'd like to see improved is the power output. Right now, 125 watts when you're using the D-tap or the base plate connection. That's not bad as long as your light or whatever you're using is less than 125 watts. But I have a lot of lights that are 150 watts or 200 watts. I'd love to see that bumped up in the future if I could. How great is this? A tiny little foldable cage that can house a V-mount battery that can connect pretty much to anything, and I can monitor on my phone. I love this little rig so much, and I really appreciate Neewer contacting me, sponsoring this video, and even having heard of my channel. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Pretty sure someone over there is going to get fired. And what also doesn't make sense is how great my audience is, staying to the end of my videos. You guys are the best. So let me know down below if this floats your boat. If it doesn't, write down something you'd like to see me review, and then I will review it for your faces. We'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.